What's up? How are we, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Live. Now, last night was really epic because we got to teach everyone how not to be a wanker on social media, and tonight we're going to go a little bit more balls deep into some sciencey stuff, some educational stuff, and of course, I've always, as always, I've picked a topic to rant on, which is going to be great. And I'm sure you guys will get a lot out of it, alright? So, as always, if you have any questions, ask away. Some of the shredders in the shred community have already been asking questions, which I've put down. So, to all you guys, Al, Colin, Ricardo, and whatnot, even Robert, you've all put in questions already. So, thank you very much, legends. And anybody else who has anything, ask away, because that's what I'm here for. You can grill me, all right? Old mate Johnny Grell last night gave me a whole heap of shit. And I rebutted every single one of it. John, we're meant to be friends, mate, but you know, we're very friendly. But if you want, you can grill me in these sessions. That's what it's here for. So ask me the most fucked up, difficult questions possible. All right, anything that you want to know. There is no boundaries with these things. These are here to be open. All right. Nobody's open in the fitness industry. Nobody talks about fucking steroids, clenbuterol, T3, bloody taking cocaine, MDMA, all that shit, alright? If you have any questions that you can't ask your mum, you can ask us on here, alright? And yeah, so just feel free to comment away. And if you do have something that's personal and you want to remain anonymous about, just shoot us an inbox, okay? And we can do it that way as well. Who we got online? Jimmy Van Elswick, big fella, we've got to rebook our call in. Woodsy, how are you, my man? Kimberly, good to have you in here as always. Aiden, Tim Donovan, Jay Osborne, Manal, how are you, mate? Epic, we've got a really good group. So, as the title suggests, guys, we're going to be going over juicing diets. Fucking dead set. I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall because these things are still out. We're going to go over a really cool one, which is muscle growth after having radiation therapy. All right, we had a really interesting question last night that I couldn't answer, so I spent a fair bit of time today researching about it. And one of the boys asked me, he's like, James, look, I've had radiation therapy and I can't seem to grow muscle terribly well where I have it. All right, why can't I grow this? Am I ever going to be able to grow muscle there? So I'm going to go over that and tell you guys what I've researched and what I've found. And then on top of that as well, we're going to be hitting, should you be doing a bodybuilding comp? Should you actually be looking to compete? Right. Who else have got on here? Big Josh Bishop, The Fizz, Alex, awesome. Rightio, let's get cracking into it. There's only 20 here. Also, as always, one thing we've got to point out is if you want to see more of these, make sure you like or you comment, otherwise Zuckerberg's going to hide me from you, okay? So if you like these videos and you enjoy the information that we're putting out, shoot us a like, because not only will you see more of it, but you will also boost my ego a little bit more. You know? And I've already got a phenomenal ego, you know? So, excuse me, I'm bulking, that's why I'm still eating, because it's so hard to get this food in. Guys, I'll tell you what, eating 5,000, 6,000 plus calories a day, that's fucked, hard as. So, anyway, let's crack on into it. Okay, so, last night one of the boys put up a photo in the shred community saying, guys, you know, what are your thoughts on this Juice Plus stuff, which is a juicing diet? And pretty much what it is that you buy these like powders from a company and you mix it up and you make a juice out of it. Now, with the juice itself, there is nothing wrong with drinking juice. There is nothing wrong with drinking juice supplements. There is nothing unhealthy about doing it whatsoever. But the recommendations that these fucking Muppet companies give for weight loss are absolutely ridiculous. Pretty much what happens with these companies is they say drink our shakes and nothing else and you will lose fat. And that's pretty much like saying have a 0-calorie diet and nothing else and you'll lose fat, because that's exactly what it is. No wonder you fucking lose weight. Now, I'm not saying all people do that with Juice Plus. I mean, Juice Plus may have some benefits in it because you're just getting in more vegetables in your diet. But that's what a lot of people do, right? Juicing, juice fasting, doing all that bullshit like that and eating fuck all calories is a terrible, terrible way to go. Doctors love recommending 0-calorie diets for weight loss, and yes, of course it's going to work, but what do you think happens when you stop eating 0 calories? Because you can't eat 0 calories forever. It simply is not sustainable. It fucks with your gut microbiome, it fucks with your hormones, it fucks with your neurotransmitters, gives you hectic anxiety, stops you from sleeping, okay? There is no benefit to doing it whatsoever, as opposed to having a regular intelligently calorie controlled diet. That is what you need. Right? That is what you need. You guys will never see me recommend a juice diet. Literally never, ever. Alright, I recommend a bit of fasting here and there, that's great, but I'm not going to say go on a juice diet where you eat 0 calories for fucking weeks on end. Okay, that's absolutely ridiculous. Would not ever recommend it. Okay, so if anybody ever tells you to go on a juice detox, tell them to go get fucked and then take their bullshit snake oil products somewhere else. Now, another fun thing, okay, about these juice detoxes, these are really big at the moment, is they say all you need to do is you need to drink these veggie juices and it will detox your body. Now, when we look at detoxification, we've got to look at what actually is detoxification. Do these people know what they're talking about? And the answer is no, they fucking have no idea what they're talking about whatsoever. Because here's what juice detoxification is, alright? Here's what detoxification is, rather, alright? Detox occurs in the liver, alright? That is the main site of detoxification. Well, in fact, it actually occurs in 3 sites. The main sites of detoxification are ridding of stuff that we don't want in our body, toxins, alright? The liver, the digestive system, and the skin, alright? Those are the 3 sites of it. Now, the main one that people want to focus on is the liver, okay? That's what they're looking to do. And so people will say, oh, just drink lemon and water for the next 3 days and you'll cleanse your liver. Now, the issue with this is that in order for the liver to go through its detoxification process, it actually needs to have amino acids because they are the key parts of detoxification, alright? You need amino acids to do so. So if you're not eating any protein, you're not getting any amino acids, meaning your liver is not going to detoxify itself well enough at all. Okay? So plain and simple, anybody who says, drink this fucking bullshit, vegetable juice or lemon juice or whatever it is, or this shitty shake, and expect you to detox, it doesn't happen because it's physically impossible for your body to do so. Alright? Do not bother with juice diets. I would hardly even recommend bothering with juice supplements. All they're going to do is part you from your money. That is literally it. Okay? Now on going on further with that, some people like to supplement with juices just because they're not getting enough veggies in. That's great, that's fine, that's actually highly intelligent to do. But it's always going to be better when you're getting in the veggies whole, okay? It'll keep you more full, it'll keep your gut microbiome happier because you're going to get more prebiotic stuff out of it. And the chances are you're actually going to hold more micronutrients by eating vegetables as opposed to these powdered things, okay? Now, next one. This is a really interesting one, this next one, which we got asked by Aaron, good bloke, yesterday, about can you grow muscle after having had radiation therapy? So, guys, we're going to go full nerdy into this, so let me know if I'm going too quickly, okay? So someone just comment if I'm going too quickly and I'll slow it down. So pretty much how I'm going to tackle this question, alright, is we're going to look at the process of muscle gain, so how it works at the cellular level, and then after that we're going to look at how the effect of radiation on that, and then whether it can actually occur, whether you can actually get muscle production after having had radiation therapy. So pretty much when you get muscle gain, there are 2 ways for it to happen. You either go from what's called a myoblast, which is like a precursor muscle cell, and it turns into a myocyte. Alright, so you've got myoblast into myocyte. Alternatively, you can go from satellite cell into myoblast into myocyte. Okay, so a satellite cell is like a really cool cell which has got shitloads of options. It's like someone who's done like 3 degrees, and it can pretty much choose which way it wants to change with anything. So it can go from the satellite cell, from having all the options in the world, and it can specialize into a myoblast, which then can turn into a myocyte when stimulated, right? So that is the process. On top of this as well, there are multiple other factors which are involved in this, such as myocyte enhancer factors, all right, serum response factors, and myogenic regulatory factors, all right? So yes, I've got no idea what those ones are, to be perfectly honest, but that's what the study said. So there are these 3 factors which regulate the production of myocytes and the amount of muscle hyperplasia, so the increase of muscle cells and muscle hypertrophy. Right? So when you have radiation therapy, pretty much what it does is it stops these cells being able to work. So it stops the myocytes from being able to work. So, if you get radiation therapy when you're a kid, it can really smash up this, and it can actually prevent you from being able to gain muscle through those myocytes for the rest of your life, alright? The other thing too that it also does is when you get radiation therapy, it will stop the myoblasts from being able to turn into myocytes, alright? So myocytes are the muscle cells, so that's what your muscle's made of, alright? Myocytes. Myoblasts are the precursors which turn into myocytes, alright? That's why when you grow, you get increased number of muscle cells, which happens all the time. When you're training well, that's why you can make your muscle bigger, pretty much in layman terms. And so what happens is, shut up computer. Sorry. What happens is you have got the myocytes, the myoblasts, which also get damaged by the radiation. Now, the other cool way, so rather than just going from myoblast into myocyte, you can also go around the back door using those satellite cells, the ones which have got 3 degrees and they can go any which way they want. If they can turn into myoblasts as well, which allows you to then make more myocytes. However, when you have radiation therapy, it will also screw up your satellite cells. So, the big question here is, can you ever recover from that, and are you ever able to make more gains? Now the thing here, which I'm unable to answer based on the evidence which I've been able to find, is that whether you can actually make more satellite cells. So pretty much when you get radiation therapy, it fucks up your muscle cells and your muscle precursor cells, okay? Plain and simple, very unfortunate. Sorry guys, that's just a fact. Well, that is what I've been able to find anyway, and I'm sure that's what you've been able to experience too. However, the big question is are we able to make more satellite cells which can go through the back door to make more muscle precursor cells, which then makes more muscle cells? That is the big question. So, if your body will create more muscle satellite cells, which is the things which can specialize in any which way they want to, if you can make more of those and your body will make more of those, then yes, it is potential for you to gain more muscle, alright? At the same time, you then need to make sure that you are training enough to recruit these satellite cells to go into muscle precursor cells, which then turns into muscle cells themselves. So my answer to this, originally I was thinking no, you're not going to be able to grow muscle, but my answer after looking at some of the research is that actually you might be able to. You will never be able to grow optimally, unfortunately. Sorry guys, that's just you know what you dealt with, or what the research says you dealt with. But you may still be able to grow significant amounts of muscle if you're training hard enough. So the ways in which you recruit satellite cells are by training with high volume, just giving your body enough stimulus to grow muscle, okay? Taking anabolics too, that will do it. And then at the same time, holding a very long stretch. So if you stretch under tension and you hold load while you are stretching, that will actually recruit satellite cells and then allow muscle hyperplasia to occur. Right? So that is what I'd say. So if you've had radiation therapy, I would say just fucking train your ass off and hope for the best, okay? There is no conclusive evidence either way from what I can see saying, yes, you can gain muscle, or no, you can't. I think it's going to be somewhere in between where you can't gain optimal amounts of muscle, but at the same time, there's no reason why you can't put on a little bit of muscle, okay? So go for that for sure. Now, Michael Slobs also just asked, is it the same for chemotherapy? If you're undergoing chemotherapy, are you going to be unable to grow muscle? My answer to that is no. You will be able to grow muscle. Okay, you should be able to, because with chemotherapy, it is transient. With radiotherapy, it actually smashes it on a genetic level and it scrambles your DNA, all right? It scrambles the genes, and that's why it can have such a, blunt effect. Whereas with chemo, it is poisoning your cells. That's what it's doing. So you should actually be able to grow muscle after being on chemo. Chemotherapy will induce apoptosis, so cell death, so it is going to make you lose some, but you should be able to get others at the same time, okay? So yeah, chemo, you should be able to grow muscle. And as we're doing with you, Nick, you are growing, dude. You are growing and getting leaner at the same time while on chemo, and you're fucking crushing it, you know what I mean? Nobody does as well as you do on chemo. So yeah, man. Jeffrey Stevens has just come in and he said, I've had chemo and haven't had any issues growing. I did find my metabolism has slowed down though. There you go. That's evidence of it, man. So yeah, if you've had chemo, fucking go for it. Have a good nudge, keep lifting hard, and yes, you should be able to do really well out of it. Why your metabolism slowed down, big fellas, you probably lost a significant amount of muscle mass while you're on chemo. So yeah, so just make sure that you build that muscle back up and you'll increase your metabolism. The easiest way to speed up your metabolism is to gain muscle, all right? So yeah, that was really cool. Great question, Aaron, and thank you for bringing that one up. Now the next one. Should you be doing a bodybuilding comp, right? These days, it's like fashionable to do a bodybuilding competition. Everybody wants to do a bodybuilding comp and everyone wants to get into it, all right? Everyone wants to jump on stage and do all this shit. Now, the thing with bodybuilding comps is that not everyone should be doing them, okay? They shouldn't, or not everyone's cut out to do them well. Not everyone's cut out to do them immediately. What you'll see, right? Take this for an example. You'll see somebody who has been training for about a year or so, and they want to set a new goal. And so they set the goal of a bodybuilding comp. Now these people are generally 15 to 20% body fat for a man, 25 to 30% for a girl. They're holding a bit, they don't have much muscle mass, but they're just really enthusiastic and want to give it a go. That's you should not be looking to do a bodybuilding comp. What you need to do before you start doing a bodybuilding comp, you need to have abs, alright? Guy or girl. You must have, at some stage, have had abs if you really want to do a bodybuilding comp. Or, well, for a girl, abs aren't really essential, but for a dude, you need to be able to have abs to do a bodybuilding comp before you start your prep. Here's why. If you don't have abs and you're starting to do a prep, or if you're not lean and you're a girl and you're starting to do your prep, you are going to die. You're going to have the shittest time ever. The reason being because you're going to have so few calories to eat, your body's going to shit itself, all right? You're going to be putting stress on stress on stress on stress onto your body in order to make it lose fat. You're going to end up eating literally pilgrim calories, all right, like 1,000 calories a day, okay? You're going to exercise a shitload, have to do lots of training, lots of cardio. You're going to lose all your strength. You're going to lose your sex drive. You're going to burn through all your neurotransmitters. You're probably going to get anxiety, okay? You'll get a little bit of depression post-comp, maybe even a lot of depression post-comp. And then you're most likely going to develop some sort of poor relationship with food afterwards because you've been deprived for so long and your reward systems are all fucked up. So all you do is crave sugar and you look at broccoli or steak and you vomit, okay? I look at broccoli and I vomit, but that's because broccoli is shit, for example. But you look at greens and you vomit just because you've had to do that through the whole comp and because it's not sugar, all right? You should not be doing a bodybuilding comp if you are not lean, if you do not have sufficient muscle mass, okay? Straight up. When people come to us, literally always, I will say, unless you are 10% body fat, we are not starting your prep, okay? And not only unless you are 10% body fat, if you're a guy, or at least 15 to 17 if you're a girl, and eating more than about 2,000 calories, which generally we won't start your prep. Only in very, very special circumstances will we allow somebody outside of those parameters to start doing a bodybuilding prep, because unless they're a high level athlete who's come off an injury or something like that, or for some other reason just needs to compete. We've got one girl recently who we accepted in who's outside those parameters, and that's it for this season. But yeah, unless, like, if you do not follow those parameters, it is going to be a shit prep for you, okay? It is going to be really, really tough, okay? I think in the last couple of years, I've accepted 3 people out of those parameters, all right? 3 people, and that's it. And that's just because they're absolute mental machines. As for anyone else, dude, honestly, do not go into a bodybuilding comp unless you are, very, very lean and in very good condition. On top of this too, people see a bodybuilding comp as something they just want to do. They just want to get up on stage and do. If that is what you're after, you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you're going to do a bodybuilding comp, you need to be in it to fucking win it. If you are not in it to win it, if you don't have that mentality that you're going to win, your prep's going to suck, alright? You're not going to stick to the plan. You're going to generally have a shit time. Yes, there's going to be a few exceptions to that rule. But most of the time, if you're not there for first place, what are you doing? Bodybuilding comps are hard, alright? You don't want to put yourself through that massive amount of stress unless you're genuinely there to be competitive. Add on to that as well, if you go up on stage and you come last because you look like shit, that is humiliating, alright? I'll tell you what, I've done it. I've done a comp when I had IBS and I got second last, okay? And I'll tell you what, that was the pits. It was the absolute worst. what was even more embarrassing was that I actually beat a bloke who was healthy, alright? I felt for him, I looked at him, I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing in the pro league? Like, what are you doing here? I'm cruel, you're not. And that is absolutely humiliating. It is the worst feeling whatsoever. So if you don't have, you know, what it takes and that mindset to win, I would highly recommend against doing it. Alternatively, they've now actually started introducing divisions for people who've got massive, like, transformations, so massive weight loss changes. I think that's great. If that's what you're after and you want to lose 50, 60, 70, 100, 150 kilos, all right, and do a bodybuilding show, fucking all power for you. That's fantastic. That's a very different reason, because you're competing against yourself there, and you're competing in order to make yourself change from somebody who's highly unhealthy to somebody who's highly healthy, okay? That's a different story, and that one is out there. But if you're just a regular person who wants to go from, you know, skinny fat to shredded, make sure you lean before you even start going into comp, and make sure you're in it to win it, all right? So, next question then. We've been asked, by the way, guys, if you want any questions answered, ask anything you want. I'll go through some of the ones here. Big Joe Anthony said, morning, dude. Evening, big fella. After supplementing with magnesium, I started getting heart palpitations. Is there any link? What do you suggest? All the best. Mate, heart palpitations and magnesium, look, it is common in, sorry, not common, it is rare, and it can occur in very, very high doses, but nothing that we suggest to. So I'd be looking at why you're getting the heart palpitations. I wouldn't point to magnesium straight away. I'd find something else, okay? Big Colin Gare has just asked, where was your question, mate? Finding it. Alright, Colin's just said, currently hitting super high time under tension sessions, 4 to 8 second negatives. Pumps are insane and hurts like shit. What are your thoughts on using high TUT? So guys, time under tension refers to the amount of time which you spend contracting a muscle, okay? So if you're benching, it will refer to the amount of time in which you are performing a set for. Now, if you have massive amounts of time under tension, it is quite good to overload your muscles. It's very healthy for your joints because it reduces the strain but increases the intensity, meaning that if the weight feels heavier than what it is, all right, than what it is, and it makes your joints, it's much easier on your joints. Think about it comparing to benching 150 kilos, all right, and getting a wicked pump from benching 150 kilos to benching 100 kilos but moving it really, really slowly and really, really controlled and feeling the same amount of strain, okay? So it's actually quite a good thing to do. However, time under tension does not always give as good results as using less time under tension, okay? Because it seems to me, from what I've observed, and I'm not citing any studies here, by the way, so the science may contradict me, but from what I've observed, it's often better to stick your time under tension to using, you know, like 2 to 3 second negatives and going for a max of, in general, roughly 60 seconds to a minute and a half of total time under tension, all right? Doing long negatives, yes, is fantastic. I think there was a study which showed that holding the stretch, well, no, there is a study that showed that holding the stretch, the muscle in the stretch position, will cause muscle hyperplasia, meaning you get more muscle cells. So yeah, that's great, but otherwise I wouldn't overdo it on the time under tension. I would try and focus on lifting heavier weight while optimizing form and contraction and movement patterns, okay? I have a really good question from Al, which is, what are my recommendations on a cheat meal? Whenever you have a cheat meal, and this goes for all my clients, gluten-free, dairy-free all the time. Why? Because gluten and dairy are shit, you don't need them, okay? The next thing, the more you eat in your cheat meal, okay, the more you eat in the cheat meal means the more calories you've ingested, which means that you will either lose less fat, okay, or gain more fat. So it's really a matter of how big do you want your cheat meal to be? Well, how many negative results are you willing to accept, all right? If you go out and you have a smart little cheat meal which satisfies, if you have a smart cheat meal which satisfies you but you don't binge from, okay, then you're going to get very minimal negative effects with all the positive effects, such as feeling psychologically refreshed, replenishing your glycogen stores, and feeling fucking great for your weight sessions next day, thanks to a nice healthy burst of dopamine. All right. If you go out and you pig out and you eat a whole heap of shit and you overload your digestive system, and you're smashing the sugar all the time, you rewire your reward systems, which can happen in one cheat meal, give yourself cravings, you're going to go backwards because your cravings are going to be worse, alright? Your brain functions can be worse. You're going to get brain fog, which is super common after a cheat meal. If you get brain fog after a cheat meal, you're doing it wrong, okay? And you'll also be more likely to have slower results or actually regress, okay? So that's what I recommend with a cheat meal. Don't be a dickhead is a very easy way to summarize that. Next question. Kimberly has just said, PCOS, do you know if it's reversible? It's a really good question, Kimberly. I'll actually research into that and see what you can do. So as far as the insulin resistance to it, to my knowledge, you can reverse the insulin resistance. I've worked with girls with PCOS in the past and had positive effects on it, as far as improving their glucose levels, their fasting glucose levels. I'll actually research and see how much you can actually do to reverse the PCOS. That's a great question. Here's the next question. Andy Barks, good to have you here. Benny, Al, Darcy, legends. Luke Spencer. Luke, he's just asked, what is your go-to favourite cheat meal? Man, at the moment, like my every day is like a cheat meal pretty much because I just eat a shitload of food. Normally, if I'm dieting, normally a burger, a nice gluten-free, dairy-free burger. That's pretty much it. That's probably my favourite cheat meal. Yeah, it'd have to be a burger. All right, what I do is when I go to Newcastle and see my mate Troopy, who I live with here every now and then. I'll always get gluten-free burger. I'll get about 200 grams of pulled pork with coleslaw and whatever the topping is over the top of it. I'll get 3 extra patties, all right, and I'll get 2 servings of maple bacon. And then sometimes I'll have cheese if I'm risking it and I've got my lactase enzymes on me. Sometimes I won't. And then on top of that, I normally have some like relish stuff on top of it. I normally smash that, and then I'll smash loaded fries. So we'll get chips with extra brisket on top of it. But I'm also trying to eat 6,000 calories a day. That's fucking hard, all right? So if you guys go out and do that and you gorge and you have a 2,000 calorie cheat meal like I am, you'll probably get fat. So don't do what I do. You got to do what works for you guys. Much like you should not all be on 5,000, 6,000 calories like that just because I'm doing it, all right? We're all individualized. That's why my company, we write individualized diet and training plans, okay? Because you need something for you. Okay? Timmy Nesbitt. Can taking supplements to boost neurotransmitters result in down-regulation of natural production or desensitization of receptors, or is this not a problem? Yes, of course it can do. It will result in desensitization of receptors. It will not generally result in down-regulation of natural production unless there are negative feedback loops, which most often there are not. So yeah, dude. But the thing is too, you've got to look at which nootropics you're using. If you're talking about something like tyrosine, CME, those sorts of things, they will not result in down-regulation or desensitization because they are precursors, all right? They have got a rate-limiting step which will make sure that you have only the optimal level or the maximum level available. If you have stuff like phenibut, 5-HTP, yes, they can result in down-regulation and desensitization. Okey-doke? Alright guys, that's all the questions. I'm buggered and I've got a few more programs to go over and a few emails to send out. So on that note, I'm going to leave you all to it. Thank you very much for watching as always. Aaron, Mickey and Jeffrey, thank you for your contributions on chemo and radio. That's really, really cool and it's an area I'm very, very interested in. So hopefully I can find some more stuff for you guys. Harold, I hope you're going well, big fella. It's good to have you on here. And Kimberly, I will find a way which we can look at PCOS. Okay, thank you very much guys. I'll speak to you soon.